Batman's sidekick Robin has been around since the first year of Batman's existence. And of course, he's appeared in multiple films and will be appearing in the upcoming Batman Brave and the Bold. But it turns out his big first film debut could have been handled very differently had they cast Mark Wahlberg. So when it came to the big superhero boom post-Batman 89, of course Batman was riding high. And after the success, although lower success than the original film with Batman Returns, they hired Joel Schumacher and decided Robin was joining Batman Forever. We of course know they were testing pretty much everybody in Hollywood before the role went to, well, Chris O'Donnell, who I think did great. But as it turns out, the old rumor of Mark Wahlberg being up for the role is true, as Wahlberg was recently part of an interview and was talking about meeting with directors, roles he lost out on, roles that could have gone differently, and things like that. And he reveals that he had multiple meetings with WB, with DC, and Joel Schumacher at the time, but the official offer was never made to him, as they found who they wanted to at the time. Obviously, that's how things went, and they found Chris. Now, if you look back at this day and age, at Mark Wahlberg at that time, you kind of understand why they would have gone after him. Like, clearly, he was in shape, he did things that showed he was acrobatic, he could have done that role. But obviously, he was at a different point in his life. His career was just sort of taking off in this direction that would make him the Mark Wahlberg we know today. And also at that time, if you look back on it, Chris was one of these actors who a lot of people were looking at as somebody that could have the potential to have a huge career, which is why they went for him in Batman Forever as it is. And if you look at Chris when he was younger at the time, you look at Mark Wahlberg at the time, you realize that Joel Schumacher definitely had an idea in place. He knew the type of body structure and everything he wanted. So it's one of those what could have been in terms of career trajectory and where they would have ended up. I think it's safe to say that had Mark Wahlberg signed on and then did Batman and Robin and it turned out the same, I think his career would definitely be different. So, I think he honestly dodged a bullet by not getting cast. And again, I like Batman and Robin. It's a guilty pleasure, terrible movie. And Batman Forever is my favorite of those old films. So I'm not slamming those films. I genuinely love them, but they're perceived as failures.